Hey guys, Donna Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing Ant-Man. Now, Ant-Man is directed by Peyton Reed and features Paul Rudd, Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, Michael Pena, Corey Stoll, Abby Ryder, Ferguson, Judy Greer, Bobby Cannavale, David Dastmalchian, and Anthony Mackie. So the plot of Ant-Man is that we follow with this character, this man named Scott Lang, who's always like he's really good at stealing and sneaking in on places and like Jack and like taking them. So yeah, he's really good at that, like sneaking up to places. And so he went to jail for he went to prison for a bit of a long time for stealing. And so once he gets out, like he's trying not to do that anymore. He's trying to do a normal life. And he even has a daughter too. Like he has a family, but not he doesn't really have a family, but he has a daughter. The but his ex girlfriend does not want him a part of the family. She doesn't want to give him visitation because she thinks he's a bad person. And yeah, but he hates that a lot. Like he really wants to see his daughter, and he really loves his daughter. Is there anything else I should say? Let me think. And yeah, that's basically what he cares about most is his daughter, like seeing his daughter and all of that. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? So and then we follow with wait, before I get to the other characters, I want to say one more thing about Scott Lang. So Scott Lang, he lives in this apartment with his other friends that like stealing stuff too, and yeah, he lives with them. So let's get on to the other characters. And then we follow with these characters named there's a Pym family. Not really a family, but just a family of two. That's Hank Pym and Hope Pym. Hank and Hope Pym are really good scientists. Mostly Hank Pym. Like Hank Pym's a really good scientist, and he has a lot of really cool technology. Like he has technology and inventions like better than Stark's inventions. He likes to call it. Let me think. So yeah, he basically has better inventions than him, and he invents this thing called the Pym particle. Now with the Pym particle, it can do a lot actually. Like it can do so much in this movie and throughout the whole MCU series too. So, but in this movie, the Pym particles can make you turn small, but that's only if you're in a suit, like this suit called the Ant-Man suit, which you go in, and then there's Pym particles in there, and it can make you turn tiny. Yeah, so Hank Pym came up with that, and Hank Pym, he was what they called Ant Man originally. Like he was the Ant Man way back when he was young, when his daughter Hope was a little girl. But like he quitted being Ant Man after his wife died. But yeah, his wife died because she was what was I thinking? Oh yeah, because they were both Ant Mans actually. Like they were both ant people, and they can make themselves small. So they were saving the world so they were saving the world being Ant Man a lot, and so they were trying to stop this nuclear missile that was going to destroy a whole city, but they couldn't get in the missile because it was too small. Like they even themselves could not go in there, but what was I thinking? But in order to be so small to fit in with so small things, or you yeah just yeah if in order to fit into really small things that you can't fit in when you're Ant Man, you have to shrink really small to the quantum realm. Yeah, that's what it's called. The quantum realm is this place where it's this the dimension where there's so many small stuff, like where all small stuff live, like atoms and all the cells and all of that. And so you have to be incredibly small to go in there. And so uh, what was her name? I forgot her name. Hank's wife. What was her name? Why can I not remember her name? I don't remember her name. I'm just gonna call her Hank's wife. So she went into the quantum realm to try to stop that missile, and so she did. But once you go to the quantum realm, you can never come back because when you're in there, you just shrink for all eternity, like forever and ever, and everything you knew and loved will be gone. And that's basically what happened to her. She just shrinked for all eternity. And so since then, Hank Pym has not been wanting to go into that Ant-Man costume, and he's been traumatized by that and very sad about it. And so has Hope too. Let me think. Is there anything else that I should say about Hank? Oh yeah, and Hank is really really good with ants actually. Like ants are his really good invention. Like he loves communicating with ants with this earpiece. Like he has this earpiece where he can communicate with ants and he can have them bring sugars from coffee to them, or he can have like a whole swarm like work for him and like fly around places and to tackle people and to bite people and all of that. Yeah, so he loves ants so much. So ants are not his greatest invention, but like one of his greatest inventions. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about Hank? Let me think. So yeah, so yeah, that's all I have to say about Hank. And then yeah, but then oh wait, no, that's not actually all I have to say about Hank. So with Hank's company, it's called Pimp. It's called Pimp. I think his company is called Pim Corporation. Yeah, it's Pim Corporation. So his company is being owned by his very well assistant Darren. Is his name Darren Cross? I think his name is Darren Cross. Yeah. So Darren, he wants to take over Pim's what's it called? His sorry, I can't think right now. Pim's Pim's company. Yeah, he wants to take over Pim's company because like Pim and Darren have been partners for so long, and he first chose him to be his partner because he saw a lot of him in Darren, and so that's why he chose him to be his partner. And so they worked together for a very long time, and they were very good working together, and they were very good friends. But like as soon as Darren found out about the Pim particle, which was what Hank created, which I already said, that's what made him go crazy because he's been thinking like Hank has been hiding so much stuff from me that I never knew about, like a lot of stuff since we've been working together that he never told me about, and so he's been going really crazy about it, and he wants to make it in. Like he wants to like do an invention of his own of the Pym particle, because like Pym never like he never wants to tell, even when he knew Darren found out about the Pym particle, he still did not want to tell him about the Pym particle because he knew he could not trust him, he could not trust anyone but his daughter, because I think Darren was already bad as it was, because Darren, he's the main villain of this movie. His alias or his nickname is the Yellow Jacket, but I like calling him by his real name, Darren. Let me think. Is there anything else about Darren I should say? So yeah, he just went really crazy over the Pym particle, and like he wanted to prove that he was better than Hank and all of that, and he wanted to make something of his own, like something. It's like the Pym part. It's a lot like the Pym particle, but it's his own version of it. But it can still make you tiny and all of that. And so yeah, and so he wants to take over Pym's company and have it all be his. And he also wants to have this whole like army of yellow jackets. The yellow jackets, like they're these really dangerous small ant people. Like they're ant people, but they're more powerful than the Ant Man himself. Cause like they can like shoot blasters. Like they have tentacles, like four tentacles out of them that can shoot like laser blasters, and like yeah, and like yeah, just a whole army of tiny strong ant people will be very dangerous, and Pim does not want that at all. So Hank then tricks Scott Lang into stealing something, because he ends up telling these people about like this thing that they're hiding in Pim's house that's in his basement. And so he told what's his name, Scott's friend, to tell Scott about all this stuff and all of that. And so Scott, at first he didn't want to do it, but then once he found out that his family still doesn't love him, and like he can't do much, then he decides to do it. And so once he sneaks into the place, he takes the Ant Man suit, and so from there like Hank is talking to him through his ear, and then like eventually they end up meeting together, Hank and Scott, and then Hank gives Scott a job to save the world, and like he said, and like he's telling him, don't do this don't do this for our world, do it for theirs and all this other stuff. So yeah, and like he says, if he does this, he'll have him visit his daughter more and be with more with his daughter. Yeah, and yeah, so Hank wants Scott to go try and stop Darren from doing all of this, Yellow Jacket team and all of that, and taking over his company. I think that's the whole plot of Ant Man. Now, do I like Ant Man? Yeah, I really like Ant Man. Actually, this is actually a really not a really good movie, but a good movie. Like I really enjoy Ant Man. Actually, like I find this a really good time. Actually, like this movie, like it's very enjoyable. Actually, like whenever I come across this movie when I'm we're marathoning the MCU and I come to this movie, I'm just like, ah, fuck it, I'll just watch Ant Man. Yeah, Ant Man's a really fun time. Actually, it's a really good. No, I wouldn't call it. Sorry, I wouldn't call it really good again. I would just call it a good movie. It's a pretty good movie, actually. That's what I'd call it. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Yeah, it's a good movie. It's a really good time, and it's really funny too. This movie's actually a lot of a comedy, and it's a damn good one too. And it's really funny. Like I find a lot of parts of this movie to be really funny, including with Scott and Lewis. Lewis was the funniest part of this whole movie. Actually, Lewis, played by Michael Pena, he was very funny. Like a lot of the stuff he said was very funny. Like he was just a really funny character. I like all the scenes where he's telling Scott about all this stuff, like who told him this and who told his friend that. But whenever he's saying the stories, like we see what the story is all about and like his friends and all of that. But when they're talking, it's not even their voices; it's his voice. It's just his voice, and yeah, and it's just so funny. Say they tell him this I think his cousin Carlos like was saying something and he was like, well, my friend told me to tell you this and all this other stuff, but like it's his voice talking from Carlos's voice. So yeah, all those scenes are so funny. Is there anything else I should say about this movie before I get into the characters? So yeah, this movie's pretty good. I suggest you all check this movie out. Actually, will there be any spoilers in this review? Let me think. Will I provide any spoilers? I don't think I'll go into really deep spoilers in this movie, so you're okay. I think this will have. I don't think this review will have spoilers actually, so I think you'll be fine watching this review. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Okay, I think that's it. So let's get to the characters. I really like Scott Lang actually. He was a really cool character. He was really funny, like I said, and I really liked how wise he was. Like he was very smart with stealing stuff and all of that. Like I really like when he steals the Ant-Man suit. Like he's never giving up. Like when he sees the door is like fingerprinted. Like he still is not giving up. Like he just like copies a fingerprint of Hank, and then he just goes in there, and then he sees that the suit is behind this metal that was made from the metal from Titanic, and he's still not giving up. Like he freezes that whole door and then he goes inside and gets the suit. Yeah, I love that scene so much. So yeah, I just really like how smart Scott is. Is there anything else I just say? And I really liked his character, how he cannot see his daughter much, but he really wants to though. Like he really loves his daughter, but he can't really see her much. Like he only sees her like once or twice a year. And I really like that scene where where he goes to his daughter's birthday and he gives her a little bunny rabbit toy, but it looks so creepy. Like the bunny rabbit toy looks so creepy. And yeah, I thought that scene was very funny, and his daughter she still likes it. Yeah, that scene was so funny. Is there anything else I should say about Scott? Let me think. Anything else I should say about Scott? Let me think. Oh yeah, and I really liked his character arc in this movie. How at first he doesn't really want to do all this stuff for Hank and all of that, but he has to. But he has to because he has to save the world and all of that. I mean, he says he doesn't really care about it. Like he's like, Hank, why don't you ever put on the suit? And he's like, you think I don't want to put it on? I can't. And all this. Yeah, I really like how like he wants to save the world just so he could be with his daughter again, just for his own family. Yeah, I really like that a lot, and I really like all the scenes where I really like the scene where he first becomes Ant-Man, like when he first shrinks as Ant-Man, and then he's in the bathtub, and then he goes down the drain. No, he go down the drain? No, he doesn't go down the drain, but he goes down like the apartment rooms, and then he goes to this party and like he's getting squished a lot, and like he even almost gets eaten by a rat, and yeah, that scene was really cool. Let me think. Yeah, and I really like all the scenes where he's a small Ant-Man. I thought all those scenes were directed and shot very beautifully. Like they were all done beautifully where he was small. And let me think. Is there anything else about Scott? Oh yeah, and I really like his friendship with Hank. Like I thought his friendship with Hank was really cool, and I really liked his how he had a crush on Hope Him. I really liked that whole part of the story a lot. And I really like the scene where he was first training with the ants, where like he's hugging like a baby ant, and then a whole swarm of baby ants come to him, and like he just turns big again, like whenever like something bad is happening, because like he keeps going under the dirt in the grass, like, and then under in the lawn, like under the lawn like there's dirt, so he keeps going there, and like he's trying to like test the ants and all of that, but whenever they keep attacking him, he just turns big. Yeah, I thought that scene was very funny. Anything else about Scott? Hmm. Is there anything else about Scott before I go into any other characters? And yeah, and I really like all the scenes where he's in action too. Like whenever he's riding. Oh yeah, I really like the scene where he's riding his ants and all of that, and where he's like fighting. He's fighting. He's fighting things with while tiny, and I really like the scene in the. Okay, I'll get into that later. Actually, I'll get into that later. So yeah, I think that's all about Scott for now. Now let's talk about Hope. No, we'll talk about Hank first. I thought Hank was a pretty good character actually. When I first saw this movie, I thought I didn't really like Hank all that much. I didn't really like Hank that much when I first saw the movie, but then the second time I saw the movie, I actually really dug Hank actually, and I still do now. I really dig Hank actually, and I think Michael Douglas as Hank Pym was so amazing. Like I think he was the perfect role for Hank Pym. He was a really cool character. Yeah, he was really cool. I really liked Hank's like story arc, how he was willing to trust Scott Lang to be in the costume, and he was watching Scott ever since he robbed that thing in 2004. Let me see. Is there anything else about Hank I should say? And I really like how he didn't want his daughter in the suit because he'd rather because he wouldn't want to lose his daughter. Like he'd rather lose some. Like he wouldn't want to lose his daughter when she's in that suit. Let me think. Is there anything else about Hank I should say? And yeah, I just thought Hank was a really cool character. I really like when he always has Scott steal stuff for him. Like I really like that scene where he goes to the where he has him go to the Avengers mansion to steal the thing. Oh yeah, that scene was really awesome in the Avengers mansion where Scott and Falcon fight. I thought that scene was so awesome and so funny too. Like that scene was very funny. Like that scene was so awesome. Like I really like that scene a lot where Scott just keeps going small, but Falcon can still see him with his goggles when he's small. So yeah, and I really like when he keeps going back to normal and he keeps flipping him, and then he goes back small and he punches him. Yeah, that scene was so cool. Is there anything else I should say about Hank? I think that's it about Hank. So yeah, I already said Hank. I already said a lot about Hank in the plot. So yeah, I thought Hank was a really cool character. And let's get to Hope now. I thought Hope was really dope actually. I really dug Hope. She was really cool. I really liked the scene where her and Scott were training like what we're training to fight. Like she's like, "What's the best punch you got?" And she punches Hope in the hand, and she's like, "Really? That's weak." And then Hope punches him really hard on the face, and then he's like, and then she's like, "That's how you punch." Yeah, I thought that scene was very funny. Let me think. Anything else I should say about Hope? Oh yeah, Hope was just a badass. I would say. I really liked how she worked with Darren too. How she was Darren's secret. No, not secretary, but his like his greatest assistant. Yeah, I really like how she was Darren's greatest assistant, but she was like doing a lot of, but she did not like Darren as much as Hank did. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about Hope? Let me think. And I really liked yeah, I really like how at times how like she thought Scott was weird with wait. Yeah, I really liked at times where she thought Scott was weird, and I really like it at times where she's talking to Scott about her daddy issues and all of that with Hank and all of that, and I really like when they just share their past. So yeah, those scenes are really cool. And I think Hope was really clever too. Like I really liked how Hope was in with Hank, which was helping Scott sneak stuff in and to like do stuff, and yeah, I thought she was really clever too. Let me think. Is there any other character? Okay, I already talked about Lewis, but yeah, Lewis was a really funny character. I like how he was pretty clever too with stealing stuff too, and I really liked that a lot about him. And I really liked how in the somewhere towards the middle he decides to help Scott and the Pims, and yeah. Let me think. Is there anything else I just? Okay, let's talk about Darren now. The main villain, Darren. Okay, so Darren, I thought he was not that good of a villain, I would say. He wasn't a really bad villain. He was just quality, I would say. He was a quality villain, but I would say Darren, he reminded me a lot like Obadiah Stane from the first Iron Man. Like he literally reminded so much of me as him. He looks like him and he acts like him. Like he looks and acts like him a lot. Like literally, his personality is exactly like Obadiah Stane. Like he's literally a copy and paste of Obadiah Stane. Because whenever I see him on screen, I'm just like, okay, they're doing Obadiah Stane again. Like, why are they doing this again? We've already seen him once. Like, we don't need to see him a second time. And yeah, so he was just basically a copy and paste of Obadiah Stane, just younger. What else about Darren? But I really liked his backstory actually. What I said in the plot about him being jealous of Hank and all of that, and him being crazy about the pin particle. I really liked that part of the story with him. And I really liked how like he was pretty evil himself too, and I really liked that. And I really liked the yellow jacket suit with him. I really liked that yellow jacket suit. I thought it was amazing actually. Like his suit looked really cool. But now let's talk about the end battle. I want to talk about the end battle now. I thought the end battle was so cool actually, but like one thing I didn't like about it was that like the end battle I would say like keeps going and going, but like I didn't have a problem with that. But my main problem with that was like Darren was a human at first, and then like he was a human for a long time, and so like like it feels very forced, the scene where he first becomes Yellow Jacket. Like, you know that scene in the helicopter? Like, it feels very forced when he first becomes the Yellow Jacket, when he first puts on the suit. Like, that whole scene feels very forced, in my opinion. Like, it just feels so forced. And that's the one thing I don't like about it. But it's still really cool seeing Ant-Man fight a tiny version. He's fighting a tiny, and I can't even talk in this video. Like it was just really cool seeing Ant Man fighting another tiny man. So yeah, I thought that with the same suit that he has, like the same powers he has, not powers but the suit's powers. So yeah, I thought that scene was really cool when Darren and Scott were fighting in the suitcase. Like they were fighting in the suitcase and then they were fighting in the backyard, and then Darren turned Scott turns big while Darren's tiny, and then he hits him with the ping pong paddle, and then he goes to a bug zapper. So yeah, and I thought the end battle was perfect to put on a toy chest, not like a toy table filled with toy trains. Like I thought that was the perfect end battle for it actually. Like I thought it was so funny how they were fighting on the Thomas train tracks and the whole toy table, like the table filled with toys. So yeah, I thought that scene was just so funny, and I really liked in that scene where they keep turning a lot of stuff so big, like they turn the small ants big. They even turned Thomas the train big. So yeah, I really liked that scene a lot. It was just so funny. It was so much fun, and yeah, I just thought it was the perfect end battle for it, and just and Darren even like blowing his laser beams at Scott, it looks so tiny when his little daughter's looking at it. So yeah, I just thought it was just so funny. Yeah, again, I love the end battle so much. Let me think. Any other characters? Okay, let's get on to Ant-Man, to Scott's daughter. I didn't really think she had much of a character. She was just there to be a plot device actually. Like I thought she was just there to be a plot device. Like she didn't really have much of a character herself. Like she was just something for Scott to care about and for Scott to do stuff that the plot progresses through. Yeah, I just thought she was just a plot device. So yeah, so she didn't really have much of a character, but I still thought she was okay. I thought Abby Ryder Fortson did a good job playing her. Now let's get to what's her name, Maggie, Scott's ex. I keep saying I'm so sorry. I can't even talk in this video. Who was I just saying again? Oh, Casey. Did I say her name was Abby instead of Casey? Scott's daughter. No, her name's Casey in this movie. Casey's mom. Yeah, I thought she was an okay character. I was about to say I really disliked her, but no, I thought she was an okay character. I thought she didn't really have much to do in the plot, just be a plot device again, and for just be something that she despises on Scott. And yeah, I thought she was the same thing as Casey. But I thought Judy Greer did a good job as her. Like Judy Greer is, oh, in my opinion, Judy Greer is always the same in all her movies, and she's still the same in this movie too. Now let's get to Paxton. At first I didn't like him, but then as his character started growing, I think I kind of liked him. He was Casey's stepdad, and I kind of liked him. Like I liked how he was always arresting Scott and all of that, and he was always like, "Dude, back off! Like this isn't your house, and this isn't your house. You don't have no rights to be here and to visit her." And he's like, "I know I don't, but she's my daughter." Yeah, I really like when they argue like that. And I really like that. I really like that scene where Casey's telling Paxton, "Are you trying to catch Daddy?" And he's like, "Yeah, I just want to make sure he's safe." And then she's like, "I really hope you don't catch him." Yeah, I thought that scene was really good. Is there anything else I should say about Paxton? And I really like what his character became in the end. I won't spoil it, but I just want to say I really like what they did with his character in the end, and that made me care for him in the end. So yeah, I really like what they did to his character in the end. Now let's get to I think that's all the characters actually. Besides from other side characters that work with Scott and Lewis, which they don't they're not really they don't really have any characters. They're just there to be other helpers. But I thought they were okay. Yeah, I think that's all the characters actually. So now let's get to the setting. I really like the setting to this movie actually. Like I thought they developed the setting of being tiny in a tunnel and in the floor and all of that, like being tiny. Like I thought they did that so beautifully. Like I said, like it's just so beautiful how they develop all the scenes where Ant Man's tiny and all of that. And he's like riding on his ants and he's like fighting Darren with while they're tiny. Like I thought all the scenes were done beautifully. I thought all performances were great actually. Like I thought all the performances were amazing. Yeah, Paul Rudd as Scott, I thought he was the perfect choice actually. Like he was amazing. He nailed it in this movie. Like he was perfect. He's the perfect Ant Man. Yeah, I thought the casting in this movie was perfect. Performances were great. Yeah, I really liked the performances in this movie. Let's talk about the soundtrack now. The soundtrack, I would say, it was okay. The soundtrack was okay. It was fine. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. It was fine. All of the comic relief in this movie, it all worked for me actually. Like all the comedy in this movie and all the jokes they put on, I thought all worked for me. Like it was all really funny, and I was laughing a lot through this whole movie. It's like this movie. I would even go around to saying this movie is as funny as Guardians of the Galaxy. Actually, it's one of the more funnier MCU movies. That's what I really like about it. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? Let's talk the pacing to this movie. I thought the pacing was pretty good, but my one problem with the pacing was that you do feel its runtime. Actually, it's an hour and 40 minutes, and you do feel the runtime. It doesn't go by fast, nor does it go by slow. You just feel it. But I thought it was paced good. Like I thought all the scenes were timed right. It did not feel rushed at all. Yeah, it was paced. It was paced well. And I thought Peyton Reed did a good job directing this movie. Like he did a really good job directing this movie. Yeah. Yeah. Action. Yeah. I already said action was awesome. Yeah. My main flaws with this movie is that it's very simple. I would say my only flaws with this movie is it's very simple. It's not. I wouldn't say it's one of the best MCU movies. Like not even close. Yeah, but it's still a solid movie. I would say. Let me think. So yeah, it's a very solid movie. So to rate this movie, I would rate this movie a. Let me think. A B plus. Yeah, I think that's my rating for this movie. Okay, before I end this review, I just want to think of something else. Is there anything else I should say about this movie before I end off this review? Let me think. I think that's it about this movie. Yeah. So bye and see you all in the next review.